Okay, I just wanted to give my personal report. I was here to do cold market because I was convinced, I've talked to over 400 people I know, felt like I was done with that, so I was gonna try something new. I've never really done cold market. Always admired Holly Wheeler, but never really felt like that was for me. So I was annoyed when we had to make calls because I wanted to do the other thing, but I realized there was one community I hadn't reached out to. So I left 10 messages. Within an hour, 5 people had called me back. 4 of those people are serious about wanting to know about business partner. The sample conversation was just irrelevant. We were right to business partner. And I got one no, and the no said it's just the wrong time. Call me this summer. So that was calls.
Could you tell us what message you left to get that many people to call you back?
Yes, here was my message. Hi, this is Michael. I got something I want to talk to you about. Call me back. 720-938-0536. Boom, it's done it. That was it. That's my message.
And then what?
When they called back, I said, you know, as you probably know, I've been in life force business for 10 years, working mostly part-time. We've made about $6 grand a month average over the period of 10 years. We're at the point where we want to expand. The growth is going to be faster than I can personally manage. I'm looking for some key people in our dance community where they could really use the product, because we're dancers, and where people generally need money and aren't inclined to be working for somebody else. So I think it's a good fit for our community. I'm looking for some key people who will help me manage this thing.
Wait, that's almost $750,000.
Yeah, exactly. Michael points out that actually it's almost 900,000, isn't it?
Almost $1 million.
Almost $1 million bucks, yeah. We're almost at $1 million. So that was that. Then I hit the streets. On the streets, I can't tell you how many people just didn't even want to talk to me, which led me to conclude that as a single man, hitting up people on the street is probably not a good strategy. Okay, I went ahead and did it anyway because I was out there to learn, but that was my first conclusion. I didn't get stopped, but I learned something.
Does Robin know your secret?
I was just gonna say, single, maybe you
I
should even
had-
put your wedding band on.
I had 6, aside from all the just like don't even want to talk to you, I had 6 short conversations where people told me no. I had 4 longer conversations where 2 people told me yes to the samples and 2 people told me no. So my conclusion from that was, this is not a good strategy for me. But what happened was I honed my talk in the process of doing that. And here's what I got. I got from your suggestions, Michael, I got, okay, there's 3 pieces to this. One, there's the I'm a local business person, you know, that whole thing, the introduction. Then the second part I heard you was we're asking questions. And the third part is the closure and the 3 agreements. So I'm getting there's 3 parts of the conversation. The part where I was stuck was I personally was not comfortable with the sampling thing. It's just part of my thing. If what I'm saying is not intensely authentic and just real plain with people, I'm not comfortable doing it. I'm not saying this is right for anyone else. I'm just saying that's me. So I was looking for a different transition other than the clipboard thing. So here's what I came up with that worked really well. After doing the introduction piece, what I would say was, and we're offering free samples to people for whom our business and products are of interest. I'd like to ask you a few questions to see if that might be you. And the beauty of it was, because I got from David the whole takeaway thing, and I've been working at it, like trying to figure out how, because it's not natural to me, I don't know it, but I get that it works. And the beauty of that is it's an immediate takeaway. Now we have samples that are kind of dangling here, depending on what kind of conversation I have with you. And that, you know, so.
So what was the messaging again, slowly? So could someone describe this, please? That'd be great.
So first it's the introduction, you know that, I'm a local business person, team, et cetera, et cetera. We're offering free samples to people for whom our business and products are of interest. I'd like to ask you a few questions to see if that's the case. That's not the exact words I use, but that's the idea.
See if that's a fit for you.
See if that's a fit, see if it's appropriate, you know, see if it's right for you.
Did somebody
Like
get that written down?
And here's the key with the questions. For me, the questions were all just about queuing up a conversation and getting them talking so I could understand who they were. So I'd ask them, are you into health and wellness? If they describe something, well, tell me more. How's your health? If they have a health issue, tell me more, tell me more, tell me more. How's your retirement if they're an older person? You know, what's your career been? So it wasn't really like a bunch of questions. It was just like leading questions to get them talking so I could, and my experience is if they do the talking, I know you've heard this a million times, they trust me, interestingly enough. If I'm quiet and they're talking, that's mostly what seems to build trust. Okay, so then today, we hit the street again in our local neighborhood. Came up with a slightly different strategy, and no one gets to use this in our neighborhood because I'm declaring we own our neighborhood for this strategy. So if you come to our neighborhood, there's gonna be trouble. But you're welcome to use it in your neighborhood. So we did the same approach, except we went into businesses. And the approach was, we're local business people wanting to introduce our line of products to other local business folks like yourself. The psychology of this was fantastic because I walk in, rather than having to do credibility, I got a team of 50 people, you know, doing something like that, which you have to do to build credibility on the street. In this case, there's instant credibility. I'm a potential customer of theirs, right? They're instantly interested in me and being respectful and generous in how they treat me. Okay, so we basically did essentially the same strategy, except now we're mentioning that this could be of interest to your employees too. And you know, given that they're doing heavy work in this car shop or in this restaurant, this is a product that could really help your folks be productive. And if that's the case, we'll tell you how you could earn some extra income.
Michael, did you do this in your neighborhood physically, in homes,
Yes,
door
no,
to
we
door?
door to door, walking into businesses.
Oh, in the
Now,
business.
shopping center.
Shopping center, okay.
We're walking into business. And now, just a point, when we looked in the door, if there were any customers in that business, we didn't walk in.
Yeah.
Okay? We did not walk in if there were customers. So this strategy, I think, is like a Tuesday morning strategy, ideally, when businesses are slow and you can get in there and you're not competing with, you know, what they need to be doing.
Michael, would you say your lead-in one more time, please? The lead-in line you use?
We're local business people, and we're introducing our product to other local business
Well,
people.
we're expanding into this
We're
Lafayette
expanding in this
market,
area.
and we'd like to get some direct feedback from local entrepreneurs.
Could you email that to one of the facilitators and they can get that out to anybody that wants it, or maybe to the whole team? That'd be great.
I say we take 10 people to Lafayette to try it.
And here's my final point on this, and I would do, this is a request that I have as we do sharing. Give us your results, give us your data. So as you're telling us you got some great strategy, you've got validation for it. It's not just an apocryphal story that you had a good time. Okay, so results from that, we reached out to 8 people, we sampled 7.
Nice. All right, fantastic.
So